Okay. Yeah. Is it a Zoom class or is it a? No, I just want to. No. Yeah. So you physically, if that works for oh, okay. Oh, no. You have, because you could, you can be.
We're having chai. Do you want to come?
Really? I haven't read that in there.
You are.
I just saw it announced on screen that I'm at a meeting on Sunday at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I saw that Thomas. I just can't bear it anymore.
The whole day is just taken up because I've got another meeting at 4.
Well, you know, we had a
9 to 12 and 2 to.
we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and the Heart Sutra. All right. Let's see. There it is. So we'll start with the Hot Sutra. Arya Chikunchen here, Quantum Bhagavan Swalim, incredibly advanced and great community of Bodhisattvas. And that time, Bhagavan was absorbing concentration of the session. That time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva. It's also into inherent. Then, with the power of the Bodhisattva, this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva. We should end some of the lineage strong wishes to practice the beauty of profound perfection. Thank you. Putra and is son of the lineage, or daughter of the lineage, who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom. Should not be like this, correctly repeated in the form. Also, always and the influences for Genesis and power and forms also in the same way, playing discrimination, composition of practice and consciousness happening. Characteristics. It's not about space, not repetition. Discrimination, composition, practice, and consciousness. Mind, hearing, and body, and mind, the visual form, the sound, or the taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no element in soul, including the element and no mental consciousness. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, no. Similarly, there is no suffering of origination, sensation, and power. There is no shall we preach it, therefore, because there is no element of the self reliant on the mind without obscurations and without fear, having completely passed beyond their elevation and contemplation. All the Buddhas who dwell in 3 times also manifestly completely awakened to this aspect. Therefore, the matter of the perfection of wisdom, the matter of great knowledge, the matter equal to the unequal, the matter of how the consequences seems not cause. The matter of the perfection of wisdom is to pray, shall we preach of the Bodhisattva Mahasattva training the manifestation of wisdom like that? Then the Bhagavan arose from concentration, commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva. God said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you indicate in the evidence ritual. The Bhagavan has spoken the way of Shalla, and thus surrounded in the capital, the world of God's humans and servants and gods. I finally praise that spoken by the Bhagavan. I prostrate the gathering of the Divine Century couples who abide in the holy of space. By your powers of clairvoyance and magical illumination of the heart of the practitioner of Mahamala Akasana. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power to make inner and outer hindrances transform, may they be expelled, may they be isolated to the glory. May all hidden forces opposed to Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from content and harmful conditions to Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. And may there be auspiciousness and perfect happiness here and right now. Sashi Purgi Shoshi Ramari Ramarishi Nidye Sanji Shindo Sangi Chedan Soji Janala Shanju Bardu Dani Jalzunji Dagi Shuji Gibin Sonam Roland Benje Sangi Jubara Shu Sangi Chedan Soji Janala Shanju Bardu Dani Jalzunji Dagi Shuji Gibin Sonam Roland Benje Sangi Jubara Shu Sangi Chedan Soji Janula Shanju Bardu Dani Gyabsu Dagi Chishi Giri Sonangi Drala Sangi Drubara Shu Kangi Tuzi Nizone Tawa Tamji Bambi Chere Tambi Chun Tenzi Kodam Jela Chansi Lo. Good morning everyone. Tea? Sangi Lama Geshe Lama Gendende Kongi Jebo
So Jason is asking, do you have to have the vows? Sorry. Please don't send more messages of good morning. I'm keep on kind of losing the questions. So do you have to have the vows for this? All right. So with respect to the engaging mind of enlightenment, do you have to have the vows for it in this life, or could a sentient being having taken the vows in past lives still have a mind of enlightenment, given that they have the vows on the mind stream? Good morning, everyone. So dila Joseph ra ni kyawa ngamala jodon de lewaina di shisha ne said dila Joseph de yon sigrebe yon chogrebes. If you have obtained the vow in previous life and the vow has not declined, it is possible to have on that basis the engaging mind of enlightenment in this life.
Tendi Geshe Jindala said, Zavitsik di Chitan Lok Sambares, Rakading and some Kiva Chevati, and some Kiwi Transit Kivan, Yevan Nevan Jushin, Tumbe Song said he. That Deni and Jazurum Javati, much logo and the Loshagin, Simjin Kanshin Pendeta, the Jimba Cheva, Tendi Geshe Jindal, Tartubala, Govan Devshin, never chev. Chawaran Devi, Karding and some Kiva Chevati. DB production in the Nansum Kiva channel, Rav the Shiva, number Niva, Chundrikin Dole, Jambal Chanju Semba La, Chanju Semba Las, Country Sem Kichi Nivi Kiva Tesidu, 대 가wan nyawar nebar chaw shi kwaja kor chaw shi som ngensum ki bi sem ki keji ki transgen do tan tini yi kawar nyawar nebar gyushin tumbe som bi nendela sabar chati debi top ki bolan jubi chaji dole kangi yung ki chamani ki choden shibang segbali keba chimbala mebi chanju sembala nesum so kena deba che thameba kewar songshi 디 시제도 산지 chanju sembale 총벌 송비 산지 gyule never chibi digo putu chong sonro gonde de chiba tomale sonsos.
So we're going to go back to the text and pick up from the point that we left off in the previous session. So in looking at the benefits of bodhicitta, we said that there are 4 main points in that section, and we arrived at the last one, which is praising the person having bodhicitta in the mind stream. So we yesterday looked at verse 34. Let's put the commentary on the screen. Sorry. So, praiseworthy because of becoming the supreme field was divided into few points. The first one is the reason why it is unsuitable to be even a little disrespectful to a bodhisattva. And we read through that verse yesterday. It says, in case one generates negative minds towards one bodhisattva patron like this, one needs to remain in the house of eons, equaling the number of negative minds the Buddha taught. Let's read through Geshe Rinpoche's commentary. Should one criticize or generate a negative attitude toward those ultimate bodhisattva benefactors who offer all benefit and happiness to any sentient being, then this negative attitude is the supreme amongst negativities. If one generates a negative attitude, then it is taught in the Sutra of Magical Illumination, definitely abiding in a strong peace. Example, should a bodhisattva generate anger or criticizing mind towards another bodhisattva, then it is said that for that many eons, he will remain in the hells. Therefore, wear your armor. And it is taught here by the able one will remain in the hells for as many eons in the number of moments one generates the negative mind. Therefore, one should be careful concerning this object. From the Sutra of the Seal generating the power of faith, it generates much more countless negativity to generate a negative attitude and so forth towards a bodhisattva that aspires to the Mahayana than to destroy or burn stupas equaling the number of sand grains in the Ganges. As Sapodit states that the Buddhas are born from the Bodhisattvas, and to harm the cause of the Buddhas is taught in many teachings and commentaries as supremely negative. So then the next verse, number 35, at least the first half of verse 35 comes under the heading of the reason why it is suitable to meditate on faith. But if one practices a clear mind, its result will increase even more. So the first two lines in verse 35 and the previous verse are contrasted with each other, in that if you were to generate anger or harmful intent towards a bodhisattva, your detention in hell would accord with the number of moments that you had that harmful intent towards a bodhisattva. Whereas if you were to generate faith in a bodhisattva, that would have a greater power. That would have such a great power.
ren dewa dinang la la da tin de wen de kanza kanshi chanchu sembala yi rab de thang chena deba di dewa har digbi dewa sheba dewe labar peba des thang sem ki kiji chini yo dewe kya che thamam kawa dewa khabar chen nyam su nyongi nge bata mangi walan jugu ani do rang le son yores.
In a commentary, it says, however, if a person has a clear mind towards a bodhisattva, a clear mind is another word in Tibetan for faith, right? So clarity. So if a person has a clear mind towards a bodhisattva, then the result of that faith will increase more than the earlier explained result of negativity. For however many moments of clear mind there were, for much greater number of eons, one will experience this special result. This is taught in the Sutra of the Seal of the Definite and the Indefinite.
Tadire dini tajik tang tebi yul zamase pigila ya Jesu yurang chisa ki yul yimba zamase chal sal shin kyab sudro ubi ki yul kyabar chen chiya an chanchu semba sem yul tembi gyasi chanchu semba su chagi yoris gyasi namla tengel chimbe kyan diwa munjo gewangangi pels.
A bodhisattva is an object of faith. They're an object of rejoicing or delight. But not only that, they're also our object of paying homage, of making prostrations, which is what the next section says. So that covers the last two lines in verse 35. It comes under the heading, and also verse 36. So it says, they are worthy of praise and going for refuge, beginning with the first two lines in that section. Even great force against the conqueror's children will not raise negativity. It increases virtue naturally.
Reda di deba munjo gewangang peya ki ta gyunzen roj ro ta tsawi ki ma revena song de til ha danga ki shya mu de ne ya ta zo di chanju semba ni pigi ki kharsu ta cha cha sa yu kyapsu to ya yu webi weche di karire islam dunga zo chi and jikting ki mi na ni chi chami ki chok to korea ro di mang che ji ki ani gyunar long chu nga thang chimbu yimba on chimbu yimba o dinji la ya chi ani chami tsigur che de goras dinji cham ma yimba chanju kyase chanju semba ani kyapsu weche di ani kyase chanju sembe tugi la yebi chanju ki sem rumbo chi di to kita ani kyabyu su 다 차바로 왔어. 딘자 아니 대박이의 균제, 차츠의 균제, 아니 캡주의 균제 딘지기 아니 잔주기 시스템으로 묻지데 투규랑 나위엔자 텔레데니 아니 디균딩기 깨우데라야 아니 차츠기 열었어. 이거 대한가 가르치고 그랬라운디 아니 잔주기 센싱이 디기 아니 용된 통야 텔레야 대바페와 딘지 슈크토비 연구연자 아니 잔주고 생각이야 가주고 생각이 우차와 뒤쪽이 아니 디반용을 줘야 개왕강이 배야디 이인바로 왔어라.
So we pay homage to bodhisattvas, we prostrate to them, we go for refuge to them, in developing a great degree of appreciation to them. So in the world, we often appreciate and respect those who are wealthy, those who have a lot of possessions, those who have great power, great authority. But bodhisattvas are not regarded like that. We do not appreciate them because of being very wealthy or having great authority in the world and so forth. We appreciate them, we venerate them because at the core of the heart, they have bodhicitta, the precious mind of enlightenment. And because at the very heart, they have the precious mind of enlightenment, for us, they become an object of veneration. We pay homage to them. So we think of the good qualities, we have faith in them, and through that we draw in our heart closer and closer to bodhicitta. As we grow closer and closer to bodhicitta, we develop that closeness to bodhicitta, then we cultivate more virtues and we shun a greater degree of negativities.
Tere pena ta kondu ta nganzu lewu tambo chanju sengge ta peyu songza ta ma chik peyu chansong songsewe jila ya ani chanju sengge ta peyu tong tuwa jigo gros chanju sengge peyu tong bayina ani chanju sengge gila dimi kansa tela ya ani chik rawang meba ani kuba kiyin guyores ra kiyin gores ta nganzu kandayin tagarabada pena 미지기 미칸다지 뭐이나 미텔이야 그 미지 미차니 콜레 레그 미차지 요에 버라다 딘자 미티기 연댕기 차니 삼투바이나 메델 카드이나지 아니 그바다 셈니고 가오지 다 용도 아스라 먼저 미티기 연댕기 차니 싸우니 마사마지 견견 삼데바이나 간점질 미드 통딘지 셈나나 마가고서로 딘디 차고 오라스 딘자 페나 람름 딘디 나노라야 so the chik suzu givishi la soba that's it ya kyang chane zawni matas kyang thong si gor tang zo kyang thong si ya kan su sem le ya kyang gi pete ani bagchu na lo la ya ne de ya sem di to gi yul kan da jil te ba ne kyang thong si gores yina ya di chone ma de ba yondeng chane khachu su ta tu ba na di chogi so le ya kesa ra gores ra.
So keep in mind that we are looking at the benefits of bodhicitta as described in chapter number 1. So a goal here, when we draw closer to the end of this chapter, is to see the benefits, the good qualities of bodhicitta. And if you can recognize, if you can see those great benefits of bodhicitta, then powerlessly you develop a greater sense of respect to those that possess bodhicitta, to bodhisattvas, in the sense that you will have no power in that process. You will powerlessly drawn to have a greater sense of respect and appreciation to those who have bodhicitta. So we then think of their good qualities, and it works like that if you think of, as human beings, we have qualities and we have drawbacks, we have qualities and we have faults. But if you think of the qualities of a certain person, after all, we have qualities. So if you think about those qualities, you will develop a sense of respect to that person. You'll develop an appreciation of faith in that person if you attend your mind to their good qualities. Whereas if you only view their negativities, right, you disregard the qualities of that person and you constantly dwell upon their faults and the drawbacks, in your heart you will develop that sense of dislike or disdain to that person. This is what happens, right? Now, for that reason, it is said at the presentation of the Lamrim, when we look at the section of the way to rely upon a spiritual teacher, that you should think of the good qualities. You should recognize the good qualities of the teacher and through that develop faith in them. Because inevitably, it is very likely that we will also see faults in the teacher because we are bogged in the mire of our existence. So inevitably, faults will appear to us. And although faults appear to us, in the Lamrim tradition, it says that do not attend your mind to those faults, attend your mind to the good qualities of the teacher.
다 자스 창조 셈바디 아니 창조 셈바 삼쇼 강도 페비야 최딩 니스 큐세지 요레스 창조 셈바 산니카 레페나야 다가란 사코랑 베 아니 초바차사기 아니 초바페사기 율도 견로에 든지 차고레스 디 가릭도기 차고레스는 창조 셈도기 차고레 마도 비게 아니 지 코르단 든지 아니 가서 다지 두주도기 싸우는 말레스 장주쌤 거랑 또 차고 그랬어.
So then if you come to then see the good qualities of bodhicitta and to appreciate and to have a great respect, then wherever a bodhisattva will reside, that place would be like a stupa. Like a stupa in a sense that would be a support for making offering. And this is how a stupa is glossed in Tibetan, right? So the word for a stupa in Tibetan is chutin. The meaning of those two words is a basis or a support for offering. So wherever a bodhisattva will be, in that place, there would be a stupa in a sense that would be a support or a basis for making offering. So for what reason would it be like that? It would be because they have bodhicitta. In the heart, they have the precious mind of enlightenment.
Terdinza ta gewa ngangi pel sedi chanju sem yobaina gewa ngangi pel sedi kawal dro kawal dena ya tsamabe ani chad chumi chesagi yul kyodro yores me thamji jesu ran chesagi ne kyodro yores dinza rangi juji gewan peba tsamase jengi juji gewi ten chedro dos dinza gewa ngangi pel sedi ani gaji jata ma res.
In that part of the verse, it says, even great force against the conqueror's children will not raise negativity. It increases virtue naturally. So when it says that it increases virtue naturally, then virtue will grow stronger and stronger. Also, delighting in virtue will become stronger and stronger. So not only that bodhisattva will increase their own virtues, also they will be helpful or they will be instrumental in increasing the virtues of others.
Re dinza taji susu gyole ya chanju sem singin sawanji kenada yimba tagarares di mayna ya chi pigile ya ani meba cheba tsamgi ani chi rangyu gi ani digwa chembo tozope ani ngangi jomdo ya chi ra dichagi yores dinza re dichagores.
Needless to say that will occur if you have a fully qualified bodhicitta in your mind stream. But even if you haven't reached the point in which you have a fully qualified bodhicitta in your heart, if you develop that great conviction, great esteem to bodhicitta, even that would be forceful in destroying a lot of negativities or part negativities in your mind stream.
Ta dewadire gyasi chenpo namla nebada dungar kibi samba so tengal chenpo de so la pabgyang kondro so digbi sem munjongshi gewa ngangi pewa ngyuros. Chanju semla ya gami yongi jimbayna, sem dini gawa yongi jimbayna, ngus chanju sem mena ya chanju semla ya gawa yongi jimbayna, rangi so la tukyang, ani shenla ya, ani sewa chigi mares. Dimajita gewa ngangi perse, diya yungro was ra.
The commentary says in relation to these two lines, even if great children of the conquerors are confronted with the intent to harm or cause suffering, they will not generate negative minds such as anger and so forth, and the virtue will naturally increase, even when faced with danger or loss of their lives. So if you develop such great faith or joy in bodhicitta, even at the cost of your life, you will not harm other living beings.
Chanju sembi gyola munjungwala, tuyangal chimbo munjungwa seto, tuyan sembanam, chanju sembanam, sola pabkyan digwa manzechi, gewa ngangi pewe tuyandos. Lord Same.
Not something. So it says, even if great children of the conquerors are confronted with intent to harm or cause suffering, they will not generate negative minds such as anger and so forth, and the virtue will naturally increase, even when faced with danger or loss of their life. If one looks at the commentary, it says that a thought such as, "It is useless for me to abide in anger," and so forth, do not arise in the continuum of a bodhisattva. What this is saying is that they do not arise through great force. The meaning is that bodhisattvas do not act negatively, even at the cost of their lives, and the virtue increases naturally.
아니 자세쯤 쉬월라 다지 라무 메바 아니 잔주sem 귤랑가미 아니 잔주sem 발라야 아니 대바 요메비 토니다 아니 차피야티 디창에서 차피고레스 강나 셈기를 제 담바티 깨바티 요콜라 찬스시 강나 네바치겐 덴데와 데빈존네 텔라 겹수치
Seeing such great qualities in bodhicitta, and therefore seeing those great qualities of bodhisattvas who have bodhicitta, then powerlessly, unshakable faith arises in them, and one is venerating or paying homage to bodhisattvas. And this is what the next verse is saying, number 36. This precious holy mind, whoever has generated it, are prostrate to the body. Though harmed, they remain connected with happiness and take refuge in this source of happiness.
다디 제베나오야 균젠 테베나스 강자 강라 셈기 담바 아니 린첸데스 찬주 셈rum부치티 케바티 요콜 고숨 쿠베 찬스시 고숨 쿠베다 제당 아니 찬스시 소빌레오니 체반기와탄스 갸보 참비 또 게르블리 좀 내지 니 꿀루지 창 통장 다른 파비 공부를 거버신도 삼바칸을 내버치게 내는 매제버 마세 대왕바시 깨버된 대윈 존이 될 껴수치오 너 되는 카드 바로도 지금 남칸도 주게 태버치면 주고 심기니 샘디 탑트미 배우니 깨고라 대깨발은 파시버다 혼도 심기기 배우고는 인다번에 배우를 뚜슈켜 시다 양라도 바짝으로도 제버 거봐 장심 기람기 름바도 비숑 초도교와 땡준데다 탑들이 송소 대들 송비 배우게 되는 니데 내거도 타도그 배우노 담볼라야 난dom모동와도 덴도지와 니데 셈게 셈테게나 난주교 가서도 도마 다바다 치소바는 균체바다 덴주교 가서는 디심비 자체를 배웠다 살도 소바는 게 디고는 몸이 세비 탐해보고 타르투바다 탐제 캠베 남견 샘텔라 때네 데라 돈주발라 띵훈도 내거든 타두게 페율 톰디긴 돈바 쯤어 많이 버지면은 페율 대다 샘길이 중 샘길은 배버쳐시 매게 측점도 기회 랑기길라 따는 신도 살로 온도 등일이 페율이 몰라 톰도게 몰라 교 중징기 삼바 중 question 되네 참바다 인지 싸워진지 잔주 생고만 주고 이노 단준 물루트비 셰덴타 디자저rum지기 지제디 잔주 생이 곰베 베베 곰바네 단주된라 임볼렘비 초 혼도 셈디 페윤 베베 곰 디비스체보스.
Let's elaborate through the commentary to verse 36, the last verse in chapter 1. So let's look at the commentary to that. So I'll read this verse again. This precious holy mind, whoever has generated it, are prostrate to the body. Though harmed, they remain connected with happiness. I take refuge in this source of happiness. Scrolling down to the commentary, it says, for this reason, I respectfully prostrate with 3 doors to the body of the person that has generated such a precious holy mind. I take refuge in the bodhisattvas who are our source of happiness, as explained later on in the chapter on patience, that when harmed, not only refrain from retaliating, but only offer happiness, just as in the life story of the king Maitrabala, who attained the state of a superior despite 5 yakshas drinking his blood. In short, regardless of whether one enters the tantric or perfection path, the door to the Mahayana is the mind generation alone. Therefore, one needs to generate this mind by striving in many methods. As explained earlier, to generate it, one must first develop strong, heartfelt enthusiasm for the benefits by meditating on them. That one needs the 7 limbs with refuge is explained by this supreme commentary of the stages of the path of a Bodhisattva, as well as the compendium of deeds. If the aforementioned explained benefits are condensed, then there are 2, the temporary and the ultimate benefits. The first has 2, not falling into the lower realms and being reborn in a happy migration. If one generates this mind generation, then many earlier accumulated causes for the lower realms are purified, and the future accumulation of further causes is interrupted. The causes for a happy migration or happy rebirth that one has already accumulated increases due to being held by that mind, and those to be accumulated will be inexhaustible because of arising from that mind. Ultimately, one easily attains liberation and enlightenment in dependence on this mind. But first, one needs to have the spontaneous aspiration to attain those temporary and ultimate benefits, because since these benefits arise from the mind generation, one may say, I shall generate the mind, but it will be mere words. If one analyzes one's mind, this will be very clear. To generate the wish to attain the 2 benefits of higher status and definite goodness, one needs to first strengthen the motivation of the small and middle capable beings, what we call the small scope and the medium scope, and then meditate on the mind of enlightenment, which is rooted in love and compassion. A summarizing verse, and that was composed by Geshe Rinchen, the author of the commentary. Those know they attain a human body with freedoms and endowments, meditate with effort on the 2 bodhicittas. This is the supreme taking the essence of the freedoms and endowments. Initially meditate on the benefits of that mind.
Kāngla nēpa chēkiān dēntrewa Devin Jones tēla kyab suchi sōng dīgi chedāng ngānsu tā jīgdēn yōngdā la yā rwa ngānsu jīgdēn yōngdā ki āni chī tsū nēpa chēngi jī yōngba yā na tēla pā nēpi lēn la yā pā nēlēn chē dē jī mā tō āni nēpi lēn la pā pēnsam dā āni chamgyōng nāng tūngi dī shundu kāpō rwās Gyasi chanju samba sola ya pigi chik ani da chik kulu yongsu zoba ani che tuk kanji ani se tong che roba ina ya tela pa ani chik chambi ki ani kyongwa ani soba gomchin chamgyong na ma to tela ya nenen singi di kapse samle maneba ro chu neba cheba tela ya pa ani chamba na tuya di kari tobre yestamdi chanjuk sem tobrис. Tinza chanjuk sem yona ani kaddu hinaya ani deva te tuyach deva jin tuyach. Tinza chanjuk sem zata devin jongni ngoni devin jongni ti. O dinri jinza ngoni thane ta kyap su usag yultre sungorda.
When we look again at verse 36, it says, this precious holy mind, whoever generated it, approstrated this body. Though harmed, they remain connected with happiness. They take refuge in this source of happiness. So when this verse says that I take verse in this source of happiness, it refers to going for refuge, paying respect to the source of happiness being bodhicitta. So think about a situation where you're harmed by another person. Powerlessly, we'll be drawn into retaliating or taking revenge in the person that is harming us. But bodhisattvas do not behave in such a way. When they are harmed by others, let alone not retaliating in harming back or striking back, they treat that person that harmed her with love and compassion. Even when they are faced with difficult situations, when they are being beaten, killed, when others drink the blood or eat the flesh, they still not retaliate, but they respond with love and compassion towards that person. So how come such a bodhisattva behaves in that way? Well, they behave in that way due to bodhicitta. And this is why we say that bodhicitta is the one that gives happiness. This is the provider of happiness.
Retan dinang ya dor dunang sona chinda rewe nang dor dunang da nganzu chi nganzu number sanji yu chue chingi chi di nan teba chi yu chue chingi chi ngoni ani chi dan dongka kari ki ani chue chigi yoba ya jugu di chanju semni chagores chanju semni res dinza teba chi yu chue chingi chi ngoni 아니 찬주 샘지 딱지 매번 되미고니 탑 간다지 땡고도네 땡지니 찬주 샘지 남겨야 끼고야지 딱 개치슈는 치슈도 차고 그랬어.
In short, as the commentary points out, when we look at the gateway to a Dhamma practice, particularly here, the gateway to practice of the Mahayana Dhamma, either from the sutra perspective or the mantra perspective, the entry gate to our practice of the Mahayana Dhamma is bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. And because of that, we want to make great effort in many ways in using different methods to give rise to bodhicitta. This is so important.
단다 찬주 샘비기 돈발렘비 야 제대로 두송 공부는 찬주 뜨는 인생이 세저러스 라 제대로 두송 공부 남슬라운디 두송기 상기 탐지 찬주 샘을 때니 상기 바레스 라 상기 바레스 된자 아니 난소이나 아니 찬주 샘을 때니 상기 고연자 찬주 샘도 네버드다 아니 랑귤에 끼고 그랬어. 지들 두순 공부는 잔주도는 인제비 잔주 셈라는 매 담바다기 깨버 키스.
So just like the protectors of the three times have generated bodhicitta. Just as the protectors of the three times have taken the bodhisattva vow. So in relation to the bodhisattva vow, when we take it upon ourselves, we might recite certain procedure, a certain verse in order to take upon ourselves the bodhisattva vow. So one of them says, just like the protectors of the three times have given rise to this vow. So the Buddhas of the three times became Buddhas due to the mind of enlightenment, due to bodhicitta. So we too then endeavor to attain the state of enlightenment, and we do that in emulating the footsteps and taking up the bodhisattva vow.
Terdiza tatsawi nganzuta lewo oman namgi kapsu ani chanjuk sem kisuldi shivshin chawaji ta yungurwas inaya chanjuk sem kiyagita tabse namdu gyu zodi 아니 소사 드브장라야 땡기여바디 다시무고르와스라 페나 아니 당간주 좀된디기 진주가 난다 지 벤르다 주난다 비기 신데 송치 공부를 주다 파바 토면 남반이라 소바 디디 아니 잔주선 툴런 총주디 소사 드브장라 때니 아니 잔주선 툴런 총예비 그 로직인지 여러와스 페나 파바토메 따베이나 베벤 파바토메 따베이나 조 대바다 인지 떡기 아니 잔주선 툴런 총여바 아니 공부를 주기 남들 때는 조직 아니 속조부 떡기 라 속조부 떡기 때니 잔주선 툴런 총여바 어딘지 여레스.
So then later on in the next couple of chapters, a detailed explanation of the way to take up the engaging vow is given. But in short, when you look at the way to take up the engaging vow, you do that through the support of accumulating the collections and purifying negativities and obscurations, which is the way that the great pandits of the past does that follow the Buddha, the Bhagavan, have done. So when you look at the life stories of the great masters of the past, such as, for example, the two trailblazers, the two pioneers, Arya Sangha and the protecting Nagarjuna, you can see in the life story the way in which they have amassed the collections and purified negativities and obscurations as means for giving rise to the engaging vow. So, for example, when you look at the master Arya Sangha, in his life story, there is an indication of the faith and compassion that he relied upon in building up the collections. And in the life story of Nagarjuna, it is said that he has completed the collection, right? His completion of the collections was the thing that was supportive of that process.
간지 대바당한기 상로디 기투고인자 규민바 치리게다 아니 탑조디 베나 왕세다 로 아니 지 장주 뉴물을 쳐바제발이야 티슈고레세다 데니지 산지기 송기 진담 주여라야 아니 롱기 균 톱고레스 데니 맹아 나ങ്ങി기 라마기비시니 우두 시디 간지 아니 간주 초사 드브장기 신켜버진디 아니 장래야 란더 신지 말로 땡긴기 자빌라마티 힘바디 간지 왕치 아니 진라 맹아 참말로 아니 랑 자빌라미기 균 토고연자 안 델야 아니 손데 야부 고레스 야버무치 데와드 나올라야 라마레 손데 야부 아니 지 가서다 소사야부 어디리고르 송도스
Not only we need to accumulate the collections and to purify negativities, we do that also in conjunction with the lineage lamas in a process that ripen our continuum. So how do we ripen our continuum? Our continuum is ripened through faith, through clarity. So we receive different things from the lineage lamas. Like, for example, we receive empowerment. In order to dispel afflictions, to remove afflictions from a mind stream, we get an explanation. We get a transmission. We get an explanation, a commentary, not afflictions. We get transmissions, lungs, in support of our study of scripture. We get personal instructions or an instruction for practice from lamas. We get an explanation of the things that we need to take up and the things that we need to cast aside in our practice. And this unerring explanation is coming from a root lama. And therefore, we need to make such supplications, strong supplications to the root lama. This is what His Holiness mentions in his commentary to this text. It says that in this process, you also need to make strong supplications, strong requests to the root lama, and through that, you accumulate the collections.
치고요리 롱고요리 맹아고요리 그래서 참말로 아니 나로치스 로 소소라야지 간지 소소라이 난 참말로 여바디 링아 익스므리 So lunga examdi lama le techi and puchi and sondu shiwayno lami toni ani dinangarwas. Is it di toni da ani chanchusen gyuli kigowa and simjan tamji to the sanji combine tel din togoya or dindis chagwas ra.
And when we make supplications to the Lama, it's not that we just say, in your take refuge, Kyab Suchi in Tibetan. It's not just that. It is that we make requests to receive empowerment, commentary or an explanation, a transmission, oral instructions. Please give me those instructions, and I will attend my body, speech, and mind. I will offer my body, speech, and mind to you in order to receive them. This is the type of supplication that we make to the Lama, right? So it's not just, I take refuge in you. We make those specific supplication. And if you do that, then certainly you will attain that. You will attain, for example, the mind of enlightenment on that basis.
Tere dimandoji nganzu nguni ya lama la mashuna lame gi tangdle enjini ngi kerala ya dinangi dikurgi these sukang lag maros sung maros ra.
Otherwise, if we do not make such requests, it's not that the Lama will come to you and say, now I will impart those instructions on you, I will impart an empowerment, or I will give you those vows. No, no one will give you those things without being requested to do so.
That's something new shoji, that new shoji yawena, ani mishima shen, any passion Malaya Nyendu dan, Teba dan, Dindi Kayamena, Karib had Treva in a Pasham assembly, Chilabin Jugio Maros, so Chilab with Dendi, and Tebig Tony Chingo was, or Dinti Sonza, and Tamanjan, and Tebaki, Tebi Tonitini, and Sondip Shu, and one long menga big Chichanzan, Tobaina, da, and Chin Yamin Chiagi. And Nengadi, Chagin Sangores, Madonga Chu Jamba in a Nambichu Jamba in a Nambichu Yamnet and Drogu Yamedi, Taguredos, Pronambichu Yamnet Chevalaya, one long manga tricks Samalo, Mansana, Chilam Jugu Mari, Chilamajuna, Yamne Mares, Yamne Maresti.
So we make such supplications, and they're involved with faith, with having adopted pure appearances with respect to the Lama. And through that, we attain blessings, right? So the blessings will be attained through having faith, through having such pure appearances. And with that, we receive empowerment, transmissions, oral instructions, and so forth. So I forgot to say before that Geshe said that, of course, it could be that you have a really strong connection with a certain teacher. They're close to your heart, you're close to their heart. So it is possible that in a certain situation they would actually offer empowerments and so forth to you, even if you don't make those actual requests. But in general, when we look at how empowerments, instructions, commentaries, transmissions are given, they're not given without being requested to do so. And in order to then request for them, you need to have faith. You need to adopt pure appearances with respect to that person. So then if you make such requests through faith and clear appearances, then you can take those instructions and put them into practice. So we sometimes say that I'm studying the Dhamma, or I'm training in the Dhamma, but for your Dhamma training, Dhamma studies to become practice, you need the blessings. Without the blessings, it will not be, your Dhamma training will not become practice.
Odirda kaznta ngarang mezidi lamal deni kewa inza ani lama di kishimbu imbadi nge tsorgors ta tsor tugors ro 마도 빼나 ngayan chi phigile ya rikpa nyurbu yonge ani rikpa sabu yonge chi tsundru chimbu yonge zawani ni mimares tro ina yangi metse de lama nyamde kinza lami tuji katile tene nima takpa tyuta do nga katu chi yanbu chi kundula chaba ine kyan thewa kariyes kejingi thewa matema ge kona ko konsu tende sonde sambala ni semla ya jache ro an lagdön de chikta genrum chi gombu mazo kongi lo sum de chi parala ya nga chi ani gengi shabshiran shin devi katin ten gen gombu ta chi zose vi chela ya ngi chi ani pechate te oni ngama da mandra ani ngama da mandra ngi te chi kongin ro chi ngi semla ya sorgu stati ro sorgu ti tinza ani chi zavilami chenab singi di mandraji yobati yashi gyatamba resti.
So the Lama is so important to us. At least Geshe says that this is his personal feeling with respect to receiving such blessings from the Lama. So in terms of, Geshe feels like looking at his own mind, he doesn't feel that he has a swift mind, or swift wisdom, or very clear one. He doesn't feel that he's a very diligent person. But still, looking at his experience with relying upon his teacher, then his teacher was very kind to it. He really appreciates the kindness of his teacher. When his teacher was still alive and he was studying with him, his teacher said that whenever you have questions, right? So whenever he approached his teacher said, if you have any questions, if you need any clarification, just ask. So now Geshe looks at the things that he studied from his teacher, and he tries as much as possible to apply it to his own mind, kind of to make it stick in his mind, to attend the mind to the teaching and the advice of his teacher. And now in hindsight, it feels that it did make a change. His mind changed because of that, particularly when he compares his mind to how it used to be before and how it is now. It feels 100% guaranteed or certain that such change came through the blessings of his teacher.
Lama la sowata gori slavdigi ni sem no la that chambu chanja shinu da tangan tandan zambling dil ten kishi waras kanjing ni sem no la ti re samson roch jasa jada ma re sambi chowa dingal ngal yores ro an ti gi tanjing gi dan de ya gi la ju gi ti me she wanda tro she ti ani chenlap londa menga zon zebi 진진 라마 교바 제발로 소원되어 소세 때 오늘 자네기다 지 라마 댄스 라마라에 소원될 수 디니송도 왔다 롬 디니 잡지 로 디니송도 왔다 딘til에 때다 천남 종거야지 야시 야다 말했다
And Geshe family believes 100% confident in this world that all this will come through making such supplications to the Lama. So there's one verse that Geshe recited that says, I supplicate the Lama who is the source for the ripening empowerment, the completing explanation, the one that gives me transmissions and instructions for practice. That Lama I supplicate.
tilda menga se de takazing on the zapasang lamram khadu chishim manje koyarda menga di ani chi surba chi tsawni mendo shon kabunga zo ani ka tengir zo kyuwi ta di shon chembo digi de ta menga gyabure mado til los chi menga mendo tinza tsu gi chi ani long ani chi ani Geshe 참말로 라말 데니 총국도 왔다 드렸다 라미 맹아 짜야디 아니 쇼첸부 공된 라비아티마도 딜 로스 아니 맹아 세지메 시운 슈지레스 라
And when we use this word instructions for practice, oral instructions or instructions for practice, those that come from the Lama, as we said in the teaching on the Lamrim, after all, on the Friday morning teachings, we studied Lama Tsongkhapa's presentation of the Lamrim, and also this word oral instructions or instruction for practices was found in a particular section that we were covering. And someone asked a question about the meaning of instructions for practice, oral instructions. And Geshe said that oral instructions are instructions that come from the great classical systems, from the 5 classics, from the teachings that the Buddha gave, and from the commentaries, the treatises that were composed on that basis. It's not that the instructions for practice that you get come from another source or they are different to what the Buddha or the commentaries taught. Whatever transmission we get, whatever explanation or commentary we get, whatever personal instruction for practice we get, they are based on the great philosophical systems.
레벨 10에서 잔주 셈비 쩌발은 주발레 잔주 이생기 폐여시고 시셔와 레벨 담보 잔주 셈비 쩌발은 주비 남시 자신 중원 시셔와네 잔주 셈기 폐여시고 시셔와 레벨 담보 저와 조소스.
So in completing the reading of this section, it says, this is the commentary on the first chapter called The Benefits of the Mind of Enlightenment, from the commentary on the introduction to the actions of Bodhisattvas, or the Guide to Bodhisattva Way of Life, called The Entrance for the Children of the Conquerors. So having completed the first chapter, we're now going to continue to the next one, the second chapter, which is the chapter on purifying negativities.
Yes.
Can she ask the question? Yes, you can.
So, thank you. The verse that Geshe recited, supplicating to the divine is a source of requesting and transmissions and instruction. Could Geshe say where that verse is?
So Geshe referred to that verse saying that I supplicate the Lama, the source of the ripening empowerment, the completing or the supportive instructions and so forth. So where is this verse coming from? Lama la so there was chik time ba di kundi kanina minje ki wang da
La yuson debsires.
la yusonde.
La yuson debsinan tandanganzo yidam tamjinki and the leisure tayang sechore. Ini odi now la yuson dem namolia 6 those.
It is taken from the supplication to the lineage lamas in connection with the Yidam Hayagriva. Right? So there's a practice of Hayagriva. Apparently there is, at the beginning, a supplication that is made to the lineage lamas, and it might be over there. Maybe it's translated into English, maybe it's in another one. If you find it, then please share. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Just saying stuff.
Oh, sorry, I was just saw that Bill took a question, so I was trying to find it out.
Okay, all good.
That Digbashabi level Silaundi, Digbashaba. Rather, that Chanju Sam Rangula Kegona, Chanju Sam that Rangula Ke. The Rangula Yata, Chanju Sam Pep, Rangula Shuku, you know, that Shumnet that Masona, and the Rangi Sempi, so much searchy. Any Chanju Sam that then the Shugo into Chagoras.
So the second chapter is called Confession of Negativities, Confessing Negativities. So if we are to generate bodhicitta in a mind stream, we want to invite bodhicitta. We want to make it reside in the mind stream. For that, first of all, we need to clean our mind.
Tadi dewa yumi da mishiro mi yawu chi kalab chi nanglo la ya chanchu sem gom ya dipe ni tab debu karso ta chi le lawo kaddu ina gom chongi chi pena sanjo na la drawa ina ya chanchu sem gom na kaya mundu sonda ra mado chi ta yidam drawa tindi ani ta yidam rik mambora da duzo pe ani gomni ta chen ro chen sanjun den ta yidam chen ran dewa na ta kenza joro so chanju sem dindi khai mundu sora yina ya chanju sem rangyula chule ya dende chewala ya rangi gyut chi zama ji ma sube ani bi chagda mo so namgi ta chi yora ta khaya mishing chi la manyung gi chi kimba mena na shin ji ki sem sorbu chi chi ani chanju sem gonggu islawa na dende shugi islawa na al dambo peblum kora yomaro starwa.
It's honest that Dalai Lama made a comment. Geshe is not sure whether it is directly related, but it's honest that Dalai Lama made a comment with respect to how easy and simple it is to meditate on bodhicitta. It says that it's so simple, so easy that even while you're sitting in the loo, you can do that. Right? Even while you're going to the loo, you can still meditate on bodhicitta. It's not the same with doing a deity meditation, right? When you do a deity meditation, it might not be appropriate to do it while you're in the loo, but with, and there are different types of yidams of meditational deities that we practice, but with bodhicitta, it is so simple, it's so easy to do it, and even when you go into the loo, you can do it. So we don't want to generate bodhicitta, but in order to invite bodhicitta in to take place in our mind, we first of all need to clean our mind. If our mind is still governed by anger, attachment, and ignorance, if you're a monastic, if you're a lay person, if you invite the mind of enlightenment to take place in your mind, there would be no room for it to abide. There would be no room to park it, so to speak, if your mind is unclean.
chakdo ngarje da kanchi ani gamga do tindi janjang khang de yoba na ani chanju sem chesam machine yongsa kor mejo do jire do asra.
Right, so if your mind has anger, attachment, and ignorance, pride, jealousy, liking this or disliking the other thing, if your mind still has all those different things arising, there's no way to invite bodhicitta in.
Ra chanju sem gu zawadi pigi de chi peblam gu ta chi lamchen da mazun zo di ninji rawas. Ra ninji dia drawa ritu la ya chi samalo la ya chi gyurki ta tungi gu zawadi rawas. Di zawadi ani tanyum dire dos chandeng samlo di. Tingi bodhi 다치 찬주고 셈기 다치 팸럼 소디 디레도스 다디 아니 강인디 아니 나르게탄 차도탄 렌셈탄 다치 차당로 소버 디디 베티 까샤바이나 랑가춘 메조로치 딘자 헨리야 디바샤고 두세야기 디바디 아니 셈마로 디기 차고레스 소
So the pathway for letting bodhicitta in, for giving rise to bodhicitta, is compassion. An equal sense of compassion that is extended to the living beings of the 6 realms of existence. And the root of that compassion, the basis of that compassion is equanimity, impartiality towards the 6 realms of existence. This is the main pathway for bodhicitta. So if your mind is subject to pride, to jealousy, to anger and attachment, there is no way for them to arise. So first off, we need to remove negativities. We need to remove negativities which are responsible for the arisal of states of mind which are unruly.
These are that the any what the same thing ni and it's a mess so yagin deva yongya la ya then nganju namgyu nganju sam la ya yobati and deva the dunga mundevati ro di misu kan la go marda and socha busin sunje ine ya ko di hengi yoba di la go mar jango go maras ine ya munde gi dunga di ngunsim matu wangi 아니 너로요. 자다 동안 무슨 친. 쪼디 동안 쪼디 캬반듯이 동안 세티 무슨 친. 디다 찬두 로기. 데 디다 찬두 로기 디 자와디 차당 모습을 두고연자 되니 시니다 차당성인디 견진인 거지. 아니 통투고 그랬어. 다딘 통디 다 대다 카찬데 디 잠에 소야게 되버디 샘틴 레온디 아니 대과샤야게 톨야 아니 수강기 꿀마 마치고 수수랑기 배 아니 배중 돈 지투에지 가병 아니고 싸움소야 데발해야지 용사로 왔으라.
So we need to have that genuine wish to completely clean up all the negativities. So all of us want to be happy and no sentient being wants to suffer. We don't need to be taught to want happiness and to dislike suffering. Even a small insect is not trained, is not taught to dislike pain and to like happiness and well-being. So this is something that we do not have to be trained. We do not have to be taught to want happiness and to dislike suffering. And yet we end up experiencing a lot of unsought suffering. And that is based mainly on the third type of suffering, pervasive suffering of conditionality, which is conditioned by anger, attachment, and ignorance. The origin of the third type of suffering, pervasive suffering of conditionality, are the poisonous afflictions, anger, attachment, and ignorance. So we need to see those faults in our afflictive states of mind. We need to see them as faulty. And if we can see them as faulty, then from the bottom of our heart, we will have the wish to clean them up, right? To remove them. We won't have to be encouraged by another person or pushed by another person to purify our mind, to clean out our mind. When we see our own afflictive states of mind as faulty, as disadvantages, then this natural wish, a heartfelt wish to clean them up will come up.
대다 다 디바샤 신이 뭐이나 원이 디바샤 가서다 다 디바샤도 여러다는 상황 디바샤도 여봐 디바샤 신이 뭐이나 아니 디비기 니바스나 문디 겐디 수수 줄에에 차단 모습 임바디 통투거레스 난주 베는 나다가다 망부슈지기 랑기 주지 니무토 섬디 겐임바 직자원이는 맞서봐 아니 겐 셴바질이야 체치 and di kenresas lavje ani tutsu maranomato di koransen dedi zambala ani ken di sosu ani ken mar rojaji ro di ani chuchi masibi tagreshas kanji sanji chomdendi lavje di ta nye masibi ta seu shujreshas ro.
So then a person that knows how to purify negativities, they need to have the wish to do that, right? So they have the wish to purify the negativities. They need to know how to do that. A person that wishes to do that, that knows how to do that, first and foremost needs to be able to see anger, attachment, and ignorance in their own mind stream. Without seeing anger, without recognizing anger, attachment, and ignorance in the mind stream, that person will not know how to purify negativities. So Geshe said that this is not easy to see anger, attachment, and ignorance in your own mind stream. Like, for example, it says that someone like him normally wouldn't recognize those afflictive states of mind in his mind stream. He would look for fault somewhere else. Rather than looking at your own mind, then you end up criticizing or faulting something else. This is not right, and the other thing is not right. And when you look for faults in something else, other in your afflictive states of mind, you end up with having more and more faults. With rather than reducing or removing faults, you end up with having more of them. So it's, in some sense, this is an indication that you're not really putting things into practice in a correct way. You're not opening your mind to listen to what the teacher, the Bhagavan, has said. Shall we leave it here for now? So I'll put the prayers on the screen. Gewadi Nyuda Lama Sangye Drugyune Dowachikama Lupa De Salagopa Shu Chanchu
Sanjo Rumpoje Mage Panam Kegyoji Depanyam Pamevaya Kone Kondun Bewara Sho Koyu Shinkan Pendan Dewa Malun Jungwene Cheke Sewan Tenzin Yanzoye Chape Site Vardu Tengyuroji Shin Jangun Jawe Tenzin Jong Pepe Gonso Logo Chosung Ko Eleman Rugyo Padan Sodo Shigan Shabden Sho. Thank you. See you tomorrow. How are you?
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe. Jason.
Thank you, Katsun.
Why only Geshe? Where's Yaki? Where's Katsu?
Yes. Thanks, Katsun. Thanks, Geshe. Can't wait to come back and see you all.
So you have something to say?
Well, this is the High River, but it's got this one there, but I think
No, I didn't go up, but can they do? What's sorry?
This one.
Like Saturday or
that was the
tomorrow morning.
closest.
Tomorrow
place
morning's
in
okay.
this
I have to
one.
send a line. I did that now. Sorry, I didn't remember when I came. Longer. Maybe it's
No, it's not.
It's not that.
Yeah.
But it's
It's the one that mentions the ripening in comment.
Yeah, well, it says empowerment and attainments, bestow the blessings of your one
And
spirit.
then I got really things.
But it doesn't say you who, you know, so in this one, in the practice we have belong. Sorry. Okay.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
All right.
That's the translation.
I don't know if it's the same verse.
It may-
It might be, sometimes they have another edition of,
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
prayers and
maybe, I've got something from Geshe Yeshigawa, but I don't, it's not very long, so I don't think it's.
You incidentally
No.
Yeah, still waiting.
Okay.